Good morning. Welcome back to Sue's. Today, tips, tricks, and timing. We're talking about some of the early season starting of things like melons and pumpkins and squash. A lot of those vining crops fit into that same criteria. They are what we consider warm season annuals, which means they like it warm. Now, to get a pumpkin to finish or a melon to finish in time here in Wisconsin, we may want to consider starting them ahead of time. So a lot of these plants really resent having their roots disturbed. So what that means for you is you can still start them inside, but what you want to do is make sure your timing is correct from the time you start them inside to the time they go outside. They prefer soil temperatures of 60 degrees or above. Also, they're very, very intolerant of frost. So last frost-free date here in Wisconsin, depending where you're at, third week in May, even longer. But I've definitely seen frost way into June already. So be prepared if you're starting them and putting them outside early. You should cover them or use some other method to keep them warm. Again, they will not tolerate frost or cold weather. Now, starting them in the house, again, about 4 weeks, so they're not too big and you don't disturb the roots much. I'd consider using a heat mat. So they will grow at 60, but if you put it at 70 or 75, they're going to sprout and do much better. Use a bigger container for them. This might be a little bit big, but something like this would be better. You do not want to put them in these real small containers. Just not enough room for the roots, and again, you're going to be disturbing them. So a nice little insert like this would work well also. So you're going to start them with a nice well-drained soil. When they're mature and developing fruit, they like plenty of water. But when they're young, you want to keep them just slightly on the dry side because they are prone to rot. So that's another thing about them is they like it warm, but if you keep them warm and wet, they're more prone to rot. So nice warm temperatures, moderate amounts of moisture, get them started. Seeds are fairly big for all of them, so you're looking at 1/2 inch to 1 inch below the soil. Firm it down. Now again, you want to make sure the soil for the garden or the soil you're starting with has good nutrient value. These guys are all big feeders and they like to eat. All right, some of the things to think about then too is once they're up and running, a lot of these are prone to powdery mildew, which is a fungal disease that gets on the leaves. You want to be planning ahead for that. Also, when they're young, slugs love them. So products like Sluggo or other items like that that are going to kill those insects. The other thing you can do is you can use row covers over these guys, but those row covers have to come off before they bloom. Now, fun fact, did you know you can eat the squash blossoms? So once you get your flowers set and you have your fruit starting, you can eat the flowers too.